While you were in the little girl's room, Gary, I was rifling through your wallet.
What?
I have to ask, who is that lovely lady in that photograph? What's her name?
That would be my mom.
Ooh, is she single?
No. Start the race.
ModNation Racers is easily one of the greatest kart racers ever made, but after July of 2018, a big part of what made this game so special was shut down. That was until today, when a group of passionate fans managed to get their own servers up and running. You can hop in right now and enjoy a seemingly endless list of custom mods and tracks, along with a healthy online community to play with. And the best part is that you can easily jump in right now, whether you're playing on a PS3 or if you're emulating it, with your legitimately purchased copy, of course. If you've never given ModNation Racers a chance, there's never been a better time to hop in. I said that ModNation Racers is one of the greatest kart racers ever made, and I don't use that phrase lightly here. The driving mechanics feel great. They're tight, responsive, and the drifting system is just as satisfying as the best kart racers out there. But unlike pretty much any kart racer that I've ever played, ModNation features a story mode complete with supporting characters and cutscenes that take you through every tournament. The power-up system also works a bit differently than the standard kart racing game. Drifting will fill a meter that you can use for boost, but you can also use it to shield yourself from incoming attacks, which also work a bit differently in ModNation as well. When you pick up an item, you can use it as it is, or you can pick up more pods to power it up an extra 2 levels. You can turn a simple ground pound into a shockwave that pulses through the entire track, or a simple speed boost into a portal that teleports you across the track. ModNation is easy to pick up and play, but it leaves the door open for strategy if you want to take advantage of it. And when you pair that with its playfully crafted world and fun track layouts, you get a kart racer that stands toe-to-toe with any of the other games in its genre. In a vacuum, ModNation would have been a pretty good game if they left it here as is. But they didn't. As the name would suggest, ModNation Racers includes tools to create your own tracks, karts, and characters. And these aren't just surface level modding tools. You can create tracks that are just as good, if not better, than the official ones. You can create characters that you'll easily recognize when you see them, and you can modify karts in ways that go beyond anything you were doing in Need for Speed. Unfortunately, I'm not the most creative person, and I don't have the attention span to create myself content for hours on end. So when I decided to dive into ModNation in 2020, I was met with a bit of a dead end after experiencing the single player offerings. ModNation's town center, the mod spot, wasn't much more than a barren reminder of the life that used to exist here. That was, until today. Throughout all of the years that my game sat dormant, these guys were doing Death Stranding deliveries in the background to connect the community, and I'm excited to finally say, ModNation is back online. As soon as I connected, I could see other players drifting around the hub, custom karts and mods on the podium, and all of the previously inaccessible menus populated with content once again. And I'm actually floored by the amount of content on offer here. We're talking about hundreds of pages of custom karts, custom players, and of course, custom tracks. Want to play as Sonic, Shrek, or Disney's Rat? If you can think of a character, somebody's probably made it. Name me another game where you can race against Master Chief, Doomguy, and Gordon Freeman. And you can probably guess what kind of card you'll find. Anything from the Most Wanted M3 to Thomas the Tank Engine can be found across the genre's biggest free car dealer, as well as system-pushing tracks that have no right being as good as they are. So of course, after downloading numerous trinkets, I had to do some racing. What I wasn't expecting was just how fast I'd actually get into a lobby. It seems you get about 10 players to a mod spot lobby, and you can have up to 8 players in a race. But you only need 2 to start a game, and you can even take split screen online. You have ranked play to play on official tracks, as well as casual play to indulge in the custom creations. It felt like almost the second I started searching, I was quickly thrown into a lobby that was filling fast. And after the host woke up from his nap, I started my first online race in ModNation.
We'll be seeing some intense rivalries on the track today.
And in the booth too, these sportscasters hate each other.
What? I don't hate you, Biff.
You would if you heard what I said about you earlier.
Before the start of the race, you get a little pre-race interview with the game's announcers, which was a really neat feature that I wasn't expecting. As the countdown started, everyone was spamming their horns, and I was hyped and quickly humbled. I quickly realized that I should have done a few practice runs before jumping in because I did really bad. We started on a track called Subway Jammin', and I was jamming into every corner I took. I learned two things about custom tracks during this race. One being that the tracks can be way more intricate than I expected. This track has underground roads held up with concrete posts, oddly proportioned staircase teleport jump things, and densely populated cityscapes. You also have a lot of walls and out of bounds areas that aren't as forgiving as the main game's tracks. If you aren't confident in your driving skill in these tracks, you'll quickly fall behind. Otherwise, I was really impressed with how smooth the experience was. I expected a lot of lag or teleporting between the other drivers, but from what I could tell, the connection was fairly stable. The next track we did was called Construction, which must be a remix of the official map because if this was completely custom, I'd be shocked. And I can't remember if it was an original map because I haven't played this in 5 years. Once again, the racing was intense and I was genuinely having a good time. There was no mistaking whether or not Easy Octagon was custom. This Squid Game ass obstacle course had me heated. Until I started to get the hang of it anyways, in which case it was pretty fun. But then we got to this map called the Strata Project, and this is where I was really starting to get blown in the mind. You start off in what looks like a spaceship before launching into a mystical combination of windy roads and multiple biomes. If you had showed me this track with no context, I would have easily thought it was from the main game. It's so well crafted that, like with the construction map, it has me second guessing whether or not this is official or a custom creation. The pacing between laps is great, the flow and the amount of pickups keep the tension going, and the teleporting effect between areas kept it feeling fresh. Although there was one part in the map where I got a little hung up on the geometry. 9 out of 10. But beyond the meme tracks and the impressive tracks, you get the tracks that stretch the limitations of the engine and make you wonder how they even pulled this off. New York City Coaster not only has roads so steep that they nearly break the physics system, but a city surrounding the track with so much detail that my PS3 was probably on the verge of crashing out. In the distance, you can even see the mod of Liberty on its own little island. Now, I'm not sure if any of these tracks are using modded game files or just the stock track editor, but I find it extremely impressive either way. You know, it's really unfortunate that this game was doomed to stick around on the PS3. With the closure of ModNation's developer, United Front Games, and considering the strange architecture of the console, it's hard to imagine ModNation making a return. And that's before you consider the legal landmine that's user-generated content. There's a reason that Treyarch took the emblem editor and the paint shop out of Black Ops. If they aren't dodging user-generated copyright infringement and slurs, they're at the very least going to have less microtransactions to monetize, and of course we can't be having that. ModNation might never see a new release, but thanks to the community, its original game is finally back from the dead. And the best part is that if you want to jump in for yourself, it's easier and more accessible than ever. Whether you're playing on original hardware or have a capable enough machine for emulation, you can easily connect to the servers and get playing with a few settings adjustments. I know when emulating the game on RCPS3, there's a glitch where you'll run into invisible walls, but there's a settings toggle to fix. I can't remember what it's called. But if I can remember, I'll put it here or in the description or something. Within minutes, I was able to connect to the servers and get playing with an updated copy of the game on a PS3 running official firmware. I'll put a link to the Revival websites with instructions on how to jump in if you guys are interested. Now, all that's left to do is bring back ModNation on the PSP and the Vita, right? I don't know, man, that PSP version's a little rough. If you want to know more about ModNation Racers, check out my original video covering its single-player offerings. If you have any thoughts about the series or ideas for what I should talk about next, let me know in the comments, and I'll see you guys on the next one when we check out Recreation. I am really looking forward to that one. They were kind of silent on it for a second, but that's gonna be a cool one, I think. We'll see. Special announcement.
Like and subscribe for more trash.
Ugh.